welcome back to the channel, everyone. My name is Blue the Ayers, and today we're going to be doing a very special episode. I'm currently recording this at 3:40. I want to make sure this gets out on Valentine's Day, and I was waiting for a special guest. I don't know how to pronounce his name. He goes by Raquim, but also Ichach, I believe. So, special thanks to him for helping with the script. And so that is why I'm recording at 3 a.m. because I had to work with him and he lives overseas. However, this episode is going to be dedicated to the very special thematic place that love has in Attack on Titan. I'm going to be using, of course, everyone's favorite ship that is no controversy. I hate saying the word ship, but it is what it is. Eremika or Eremika. So, without further ado, let's just get right into this episode. So, everyone wants freedom. However, life has other plans. In this cruel world, you can always find reasons why you can be unhappy or why you're not as free as you like. The main message, and there's a whole bunch of themes, but the main message Attack on Titan is trying to tell us is to be content in our current circumstance, but not to accept oppression. Kind of complex. See my Armin video for more. Should be in the card up there for a more complete explanation. The answer Isayama gives, or one of the answers Isayama gives to this dilemma, is in fact love, romantic love, even. This in the Eren Kruger scene, it was a message to Eren, but at the same time, it was addressed to Grisha. We can see that Eren witnesses this conversation, or rather sees it in his memories. Eren Kruger explains to Grisha what he should do after he receives a Titan. Create a family behind the wall so that Eren can be born. But also notice he says, love someone inside the walls, not simply create a family or give birth to a child. Now it becomes important. Eren Kruger tells Grisha that if he does not do this, all the mistakes will be repeated. Now again, there seems to be a bit of a misinterpretation because it would appear as though, to some people, that Eren Kruger is simply telling Grisha to make sure that Eren gets born. However, this goes far beyond Eren because this goes bigger than just geopolitics and the Eldian stuff. Because he says all the mistakes will be repeated, which means it has something to do. Which means that it's something that's bigger than just Eren saving Eldian. All the mistakes will be repeated. Here it becomes clear again. The message is also addressed to Eren, as in Eren Yeager. So it is a warning from future Eren to past Eren. I think Eren from the future wants to make it clear to Eren from the past that if he does not love anyone and always strives for freedom, again, whenever I say he strives for freedom, I always put in heavy quotations because, well, you'll see later in the video. Same mistakes will be repeated. People remember how this whole thing started. Marley lusted for power. LD lusted for power. They weren't content with the power they have. They weren't content with what they had. Right? So they went on an imperial spree, an imperial binge. And the next generation couldn't forgive it, and then they exacted their revenge. They were all safe, the Marleyans I'm talking about. They were all safe. But then the cycle repeated because they got power hungry again. Because remember, partially the reason why they invaded Eldia was for the oil. Eren from the future knows that this is useless because this is in Eren's nature, and he only really gets to know his love for Mikasa in the cabin scene, which is so deeply tragic because it's at the point of no return. Nothing has the potential to make someone more truly happy than love, especially romantic love. And his pattern of behavior showed us that he will never be happy no matter what. Especially look at Skull Cass. Because notice, Eren lives in a perfectly modern, perfectly safe world, and yet he creates a problem for him to solve it. Because he wants to strive for freedom. We see this with Grisha. His life was bad. He was oppressed. He did have legitimate reasons to be unhappy, like Eren. But when he reflected on it towards the end, he just wished he played with his son more. Because troubles will always be there, but your loved ones won't. This is why Grisha is not concerned with living in the walls later in life, because he's surrounded by his loved ones. The love you have for someone is steadfast. Peace and good times are not. To stake your happiness on good times, again, putting this in quotes because that doesn't exist. Because you can always, again, as I said previously, you can always find a reason for why your life isn't as good as it should be, right? Just a quick tangent. People like to say, "Oh," and I'm simplifying here, so don't go off topic. But people like to simplify and say, "Oh, after Eren completes the rumbling, after he gets rid of that other wall, quote unquote, he'll just marry his daughter and all will be fine." Not realizing that a marriage brings up all sorts of troubles and heartache and pain that didn't exist before, right? So that wouldn't his story just be another wall, right? So that's what I'm saying. Good times don't exist if you let it. If you're set on making sure that your life is bad, you will make your life bad. You will find a way to never have a good time in your life. Sacred happiness and good times is an exercise in fertility, and even if there was such a thing, it would be gone before you know it. Eren had a source of joy, or a potential source of joy, I should say, this entire time, yet he refused to acknowledge it because he sought freedom. And even when he was infused with more power than Emperor, even though all of his dreams were coming true, he wasn't free. We see this because his eyes are depicted as being closed, right? Not to mention the pain he's causing himself, and he gets to rumble in the end. It's very clear he's not free. There's tons of misinterpreted scenes in Attack on Titan, but I think one of the ones that people don't realize is actually 123. No, not the confession scene I'm talking about. I'm actually talking about the refugee camp. Eren laments their freedom being stripped from them and how dilapidated their state is. Yet he is at his happiest with them since he gets the story in his hand. The refugees are happy because they are enjoying each other's company. I might be wrong about this, but I truly believe 138, the cabin timeline, would have been the right decision, or the ideal decision for Eren personally. To live a simple but happy life with Mikasa, enjoying each other's company for 4 years. Notice as well, Mikasa is always happy and content no matter where she is. As long as she's with Eren, you never hear her complaining about her life or her freedom being restricted. She's simply happy to be with him. This is a lesson that Eren learned all too late in life. Eren, again, emphasis on this, didn't allow himself to be happy or to feel happy because his freedom was taken from him. First, when the Titans made the walls, then when his mom got eaten, and then when the Marlins oppressed him. He always finds a reason not to be happy. Again, it's very specific why it's made in 131. Why it's called back in 131, Eren says whoever sees the ocean or blah 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 will be the freest person in the world. And he sees those things and he's not happy. And he's then put it in 131. Right? So the clear pattern of behavior. You didn't allow himself to feel happiness. All the while, Mikasa was there. In this way, Eren enslaved himself to striving after the wind. His love for Mikasa would have freed him from this. Again, so, I hate to say this, it sounds pretentious, but so profound. The fact that Eren had a legitimate reason not to be angry, a legitimate reason to be angry. But yet again, she shackled himself, striving after the wind. The only person who can stop him from this meaningless exercise of futility would have been his love for Mikasa. If he would have just settled, because you always have to settle because the world is cruel, right? You can't create a perfect life. So you have to settle. And Mikasa would be the vehicle for that. I like how Isayama plays along with your flawed ideology. Again, Eren does everything he wanted to by 131. He got rid of the Titans. Well, he thought he did back in the Execution from Hell, and then later on, he got rid of them on the island. Right? He saw the ocean. He killed a lot. He killed a lot of Titans with his bare hands too. That's an extra bonus. yet he still isn't free after accomplishing all this. Only delusional people think that he was free in 131. And yes, believe me, there are some people who actually think that. Isayama so masterfully tells the story to the point where you question your own beliefs. You have him rooting for Eren to kill all the Titans, to in retrospect knowing his insatiable bloodlust was not conducive to a happy life. Just like Grisha should have played with his son more, Eren should have spent more time with Mikasa. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. And make sure to like and subscribe and join the Discord. Trust me, you'll want to join the Discord.